What's going on, people? This is the last of a 4-part video series called Why You Know Sleepy. Thank you for tuning in. These points that I'm talking about in the video came about from me having insomnia and going to do a sleep trial or a sleep study or a sleep test, and them letting me know, hey, you have severe insomnia. Here's some things that we're going to go through to determine how severe your insomnia is. So it's pretty good. I did that, and these are a lot of the techniques and things that we went over. And I just want to share these. What was that? I just want to share these with you all. But before I share them, this piece of candy is really good. I'm going to get my screen up. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Why you know sleepy? Numero quattro. So we're going to talk about first thing. This was another technique that was introduced to us. I mean, we've heard of it, but there's different ways that we attacked it. And the first thing that he pointed out was, you really sleepy because your mind is everywhere. And it's a difference between calming your mind and quieting your mind from getting everything out. And then the point he mentioned was meditation. So there was a technique that he, it was a breathing technique that he used. He said, meditation is, he differentiated between quieting the mind and meditation. And I enjoyed it. And he said, meditation is purposely channeling your breathing in a certain pattern to relax your body and using your breath as a stimulant. And quieting your mind is the process of checking things off a to-do list in order for you to get a quieted mind so you can go to sleep and not think about what you missed on your to-do list. So one of the techniques that he introduced was the breathing technique. And this breathing technique was 5-5-7 and 5-5-7. Yeah. And so what it is you breathe in for 5 seconds, a deep breath, you hold for 5 seconds, and then you release for 7 seconds. So if you want to do it with me, breathe in, hold it, breathe out. And you'll do that repeatedly. And when you're breathing out, you want to push all of the air out of your lungs for 7 seconds. So after doing that a couple of times, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it didn't affect me. It did. I did feel my body relaxing and getting a little bit more lighter, having a certain type of zen, I guess, come over me, for lack of better words. And it was pretty dope. At first, I was like, I was skeptical, but it actually worked. So that technique that he taught us, the one that stood out, he taught us quite a few, but the one that stood out to me the most was the technique where it was called 5-5-7. So you breathe in, deep breath, breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, then breathe all of the air out within 7 seconds. And you do that, repeatedly until you can feel your body, get loosey-goosey. So brings me to this point. I didn't know that this was something that kept me up, but clutter. He mentioned that clutter anywhere in the house. Excuse me. He mentioned clutter anywhere in the house. Specifically, the room where you sleep is just a bad idea. It's just really terrible because you're unable to sleep well because your mind is thinking about, maybe I should get up and do this, or maybe I should get up and clean that, or I can't go to sleep because the last image that you see is this clutter everywhere. And so this clutter being everywhere, clothes on the couch that you're like, I'm going to fold them clothes and they're still there, or that pile of clothes that's on your bed that's supposed to be folded, but you actually have not folded them. You just sleep on the other side, on the opposite side of them, so that you wake up and grab the clothes. I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty of having clutter everywhere inside, inside the house at certain times that kept me up or bothered me or disrupted my zen when it came to me going to sleep. So another point we're going to bring up is cluttered dishes. He talked about, I thought he was joking, but he's just like, try to be sanitary for sure, but utilize as few dishes as possible when you're cooking. So that way, if you're cooking, that way you don't have a lot to clean up. So you don't just make make food and then you're like, I can clean them tomorrow before I head out. Cause then it eventually turns into, okay, I just made all this food. Okay, I can clean the dishes tomorrow. And then what happens is you wake up and you're like, oh, I just want some tea. So then you go find a cup and then you get ready to make your tea or whatnot, or you go find a bowl to make some oatmeal or cereal or whatever. And it just get, then by the time you leave, there's more dishes added on and blah, 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 blah. And it just gets out of hand. So clutter is something that really, really disrupts your mojo when it comes to sleep. And the last, another point that he brought up, speaking of food and dishes, is he said eating a light meal. And I asked, because I like to eat, I said, what's the benefit of eating a light meal? And he mentioned that the benefit of eating a light meal prior to you going to sleep has a lot to do with your body working to break down the food that you put inside your system. When you have food in your system and it's interacting with, the stomach acid, and some food might cause heartburn and, et cetera. He says it makes it really difficult for you go to sleep when you have had a big dinner. And I was like, I never thought of that, to be honest, as simple as that is. I never thought like, maybe I'm eating too big of a meal. And the reason why I'm waking up is because, my body is still digesting whatever it is, and it's making me feel weird. And yeah, so he mentioned that, and I was like, whew, okay. And I tried it. Like I said, I gave it a go. I actually did it. And I can say, since doing it, I don't eat heavy meals anymore before I go to sleep. And this has been about, to this date, it's been maybe 8 months. Like, I don't eat a heavy meal before I go to sleep. I have seen a difference in not just, my weight, but more so in being able to like, okay, cool. I'm eating an hour and drinking water an hour before I go to bed. And I can feel the difference when I go lay down. I don't hear as much rumbling in my tummy as I've heard, prior. So a light meal is actually a good thing. I recommend it. The next thing we'll talk about, next point he brought up was how many of us can consider our mattress? And I was like, dude, no. And then I thought about it, I said, yo, I bought my mattress in 2012, something like that. And it's like 2022. So of course I was like, yo, that mattress is 10 years old, And so he mentioned that, hey, you might want to consider reinvesting into a mattress. And I was like, nah, I'll be good. I'll just put some more padding and stuff on it. And he was like, restorative sleep, getting good sleep on a good mattress adds, what did he say? Adds about 15. He says somewhere between 10 to 20 years back onto your life for having good sleep. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yes, sleep robs us of life. Lack of sleep robs us of, living a longer, fuller life. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Now, understand that sometimes it's not always feasible, financially for, to just get out and buy new stuff. So, I want to throw my tidbit, my thoughts in it on, just go around and look and then ask if there's payment plans. And, you know, most mattress stores, if you purchase a mattress and, you don't like it, you can return it within 30 days, or some give you 45 days. So you can buy $1,000 mattress if you have the funds to, $1,500 mattress, sleep on it for a week or two, see how you like it, see how your body adjusts to it. If you don't like it, you tell them come pick it up, and then you just use that money to go buy another mattress. So I ended up paying a lot of money for my mattress. I'm kind of not going to say the number because I sit now. Unfortunately, like I said, I was dealing with these things for about 8 months, and I was in the sleep trial for about 8 months. And so yeah, the doctor mentioned this at the beginning of the sleep trial, and because he said this is something that costs money, so I was able to save up money so that when I was willing and ready to go purchase a mattress, I had the funds set up. So that was pretty awesome, and I received better sleep because of that. So it brings me to another point. Lavender, chamomile tea, like chamomile is a plant, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But lavender is a pretty good stimulant to help you go to sleep. So there's things that I used, like lavender scented lavender scented lotion, or lavender sleepy time lotion, lavender sleepy time bar. And I'm saying sleepy time not because that's a brand, but I'm just saying, like, the bar that had the bar soap, or the lotion that I had lavender as an acting ingredient, because lavender is one of those ingredients that help you sleep. So I even had like lavender sleepy time, lavender bath salt, so stuff like that. When I actually started to do it, it worked out. I'm not going to lie. There was nights where I was just like, I can't go to sleep, this is trash, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm irritated. And I went, and, like in video 3 I mentioned, I took a hot shower. Even though my body runs hot, I took a hot shower, and I, rubbed some um, lavender soap on me, and then got out the shower, and then put some lavender lotion on me. And when I say I was out, I slept very, 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 very well. And that helped. Like I said, lavender was one of the things that helped me. Everything in these slides may not help everyone, but everything in this video may not help everything. But these are just tips that helped me. Last thing I'm talking about in this is actually light, Light. Keeping your room dark. I didn't know how important that was. It's as important as keeping a consistent temperature in your room. I didn't know how important that was until I actually started doing it. Face my cell phone. I put it on silent, and it was face down, and I put something over it, so that I just did my best to reduce as much light in my room as humanly possible. And that turned around. Like I said, it worked. It worked wonders. Then when I woke up in the morning, my curtains, water light seep through it, but that, like, it was almost like it eventually turned into my body having a natural alarm, and I'll just wake up, and that restored that. So I'm going to do a recap of everything that we talked about the tips that helped me during this journey. On this fourth video and this last video, this conclusion video, one of the things was meditation. Meditation will and has helped me go to sleep. Breathing technique, the 5-5-7 technique. Breathe in with a deep breath for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then release all the air out for 7 seconds, and then you repeat that. That helped me out a lot, that aspect of meditation, because I was able to purposely attack my breathing. Then clearing all the clutter that I had in different rooms, and my kitchen, and my bedroom, and the clothes that I was supposed to fold that didn't fold, that they were just sitting there. Those things probably played a part into me staying awake. Then I ate light dinners. Another tip we talked about. I've been eating light dinners since like I said, about 8 months now. So that actually helped me. Eating a light dinner, investing in a good mattress helped. And lavender was something that helped. Chamomile tea, lavender, that helped. And lastly, keeping a dark room as much as I possibly could, that helped me as well. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this. This is the last video in a 4-part series. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. And hopefully these tips help you. Why you know sleepy.